that one.
to the next meeting. So we'll move to the financial report.
Okay. So you have in front of you the 2-page financial report. The first sheet, which is horizontal, this gives us the complete picture of the city's fiscal year 19, which ended September 30th. So you can see the total tourism tax collected there amounted to $23,539.53. And just for guests in the audience, this is based on 2% lodging tax on all of the bed and breakfasts, hotels, Airbnbs inside the city limits of St. Genevieve. So we came in slightly over last year's figure, and you kind of have to disregard FY17 because there was a late payment from FY16 that was a kind of a bubble effect.
Yeah.
So that's a positive thing. We took in pretty close to the dollar in September of 2019 to what we had in September of 2018. So months generally tend to be pretty predictable. Some people, as you know, pay, well, they collect the tax and then they issue the tax either on a quarterly or monthly basis, and each property does it differently. They work that out with the city clerk. We don't have any hand in collecting that. And of course, you know that this dollar amount doesn't go away at the end of the fiscal year the way that many other city line items do. This is collected for the purpose of promoting tourism, and it's managed by this commission, and it doesn't go away at the end of the year. So that balance, which actually is the ongoing balance as of September 30th, which is on your portrait style report. The last line item there on September 30th, which was interest, with the end of the fiscal year balance and the end of September balance of $34,659.97.
Okay.
And that was your financial report. Courtesy of our city treasurer.
Do we have any questions on the financial report? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for approval of the financial report.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second. Have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. I guess this would come under old business then, correct? Because it was,
In a way, yes.
yeah, because it was postponed from last month or tabled
Right.
till.
So at the last meeting, I was telling the board about a pilot program that I did on the online travel planning site TripAdvisor. About 67% of U.S. travelers and various percents in other countries will interact with TripAdvisor at least once while they're planning whatever their trip might be, if it's, you know, something away from home. And so I had written a grant proposal to do a pilot program on TripAdvisor. I've been hearing good things about it from my colleagues, and so we did a pilot this summer, and at the previous meeting I presented some of the data that came in from that, and I was proposing that, you know, once the grant funds run out, you have two choices: either incorporate it into something else that you're doing or stop the program. And it was a very successful program. Our click-through rate for the St. Genevieve ads that were delivered through that campaign was 0.28%, and industry average is 0.04% generally for click-through rates. And so I had that information at the last meeting, but one of our board members was asking for a comparison between this program, which is specifically targeted at travelers, and our search engine marketing program, which specifically promotes the visitstgen.com website to any search. So if you're searching on things to do in Missouri, you might come up with the Visit St. Gen website just on your Google search platforms and things like that. So that's just straight up search engine marketing, and as you know, we've been doing that for several years now. That budget line item is about $330 a month. Sometimes it's a little higher or a little lower depending on the actual clicks, because you have a budget and then you pay based on your cost per click. And so we've been doing that for some time, and I was asked to put together a comparison of the click-through rate between the two campaigns, one being general and one being travel specific, and then the cost per click between the two campaigns. And so on your sheet that has the expenses for consideration at this meeting, at the top of that sheet you have a comparison between the co-op search engine marketing program and the TripAdvisor campaigns. So if you read from the left there, you can see the search engine marketing at $330 per month. The click-through rate on that is about 11%, so 0.11 of 1%, and the cost per click is about 32 cents per click. And for the TripAdvisor, which is a program I'm proposing that we add to increase our digital presence, really. So many campaigns. We have some excellent print campaigns, and they really continue to produce good results for us. And we'll be talking about radio later this evening, but so many campaigns are really focusing a lot on digital. So what I'm proposing is that you consider a budget of $500 per month for 3 months. And that $500, based on what our click-through rate was on the previous campaign, on the pilot program, that was 0.28%, and our cost per click, the right column, was about 27 cents. So they're pretty comparable, I mean, within a nickel of each other on terms of the cost per click. And
it has a little better click-through rate.
Yes.
Yeah, a little more pre-qualified.
I have to believe it's because, you know, you're not just shopping for apples and you come up
You're shopping on a
with
tourism site
Yeah.
versus a general site.
Yeah.
I see, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
The only problem that I have is that when we are starting to look at some of these costs, that being $500 a month, if we extended that for a year, that's $6,000, which is, it works out to 20% of our budget. And something of that expense, I think, should be considered during budgetary things and be a line item in the budget. We have a lot of these expenses that we're adding in to the budget. And if we compare what our budget is and where the monies we earmarked, we have some money, yes. The thing is things of the nature of several $1,000s per expenditure, I think, should be discussed in budget. Because, which is
annual basis.
On an annual basis,
Which,
or earmarked for an annual budget for additional print advertising or additional online advertising, rather than get into a situation where we're adding and adding and adding, and pretty soon we get to commitments for 3 months or 6 months, and we're adding other ad campaigns in. We may get into a situation that we are not being as fiscally responsible as we should be.
well, we could do that, look at it on an annual basis. Traditionally, this committee has asked for me to bring forward like new ideas and try them. That's why I'm suggesting a 3-month trial,
Right.
not an annual commitment.
But when we compare, can we add that, and then there's some other print ads that you're adding in here? Now, these $6,400 that you're proposing for this month is basically 1/4 of our annual budget, total budget. Our budget being about $22,000 to $23,000 when you add that in. So, and these are add-ons that are not included in our budget. So it's just what, I think we need to look at them. They are great ideas, but we need to look at them as a sense of responsibility as we are, we are to curate this money that's been entrusted to us in the best possible way. So we need to, I think, analyze some of these. These are great ideas, but we just need to see how these puzzle pieces fit together to create an overall program.
Well, I mean, I certainly appreciate that. It's totally up to you. I'm just doing this the way that you have asked me to do it. And so if you feel like you want to, run this for 3 months and then you can decide. I mean, you can sunset it at that point if we feel that the results aren't coming in. Maybe our click-through rate plummets or,
Time of year, is that important? I mean, we're going into the winter. Is this going to be effective, and how do we measure it?
Yeah, and then especially when because we all know that things slow down starting mid-December.
yes.
And they really don't pick up again until almost May.
Yeah.
Is it a good thing to do 3 months of this, 2 months maybe? If we start it right away, that gets us through the major portion of the shopping season, and then maybe get a chance to analyze that and revisit and add it into the spring.
Well, and just to be quite comprehensive about it, if you want to look at it in that way, you could consider doing it in April, May, and June, which is why I did the pilot program this summer to kind of really hit the summer travel season. And as it turned out, our flooding situation in the summer, it's probably a really good thing that we had all that digital activity going on out there, because we had more awareness than we would have in a silent environment.
Yeah, because this wouldn't go into effect till when? November, December, and January?
It could, yes, unless you want to just put it off until the spring.
The timing is a little off.
It's totally your call.
Is the rate going to? Is this rate a winter rate? Is the rate going to change? Do we
This
know?
actually is what they call a self-serve rate, and it could be different 6 months from now, but I wouldn't expect it to be radically different. I don't expect that would be the case.
I think we'd probably maybe get more bang for our buck if we put it off a little bit.
It's totally fine.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to the idea, but I just don't know if going into winter if it would be effective.
Yeah, because we really have a kind of a prime time where it could be done, and maybe using the print advertising and the radio advertising for the holiday season coming up to get that going. So I think it's a tool that we can use.
I like the idea, yeah.
Well, and the research is there, it's all done, it's all, digital is an easy thing to push the button and go.
Yeah, we can just confirm the price at a time and revisit it that time, and I think we would probably use that at that time.
So that's fine, I just wanted to come back because you had talked about it last meeting.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, no, we already get the cost per click-through was
And I thank you for coming up with this comparison so we could actually see,
Yeah, that was, because we had a lot of numbers there that none of them were finalized. And this gives us a good idea to know that cost is effective.
It's nice to see it all in one place.
Yeah.
Okay, is there any other old business? If not, we'll move on to new business, approval of expenses.
Okay, so in addition to that, which we have tabled, I had the month of December on here for our regular search engine marketing campaign at $330. And then a board member had specifically asked about radio proposals. And a couple of times a year, we do radio in the St. Louis market. And it's generally been pretty good for us. Radio tends to be a little expensive, but they do have specials sometimes. And so I contacted NPR St. Louis, which is really a strong market for us. There are people who are interested in cultural experiences. We've done some special events, campaigns, small campaigns with them in the past to help promote some of our cultural events and just visiting St. Genevieve in general. And had, anecdotally, we have quite a few people who say, I heard you on NPR. We even have people locally who say, I heard it on NPR. Yeah, smart.
I heard you on NPR.
You did. Good, thank you. And so that was, they were running a fall special. So the first one on your list there is a fall campaign on NPR St. Louis. And there's a full sheet explaining that, which we can go into. And then the other one was KMOX, which is, huge in the St. Louis market. And they're part of a multi-pack, called Entercom. And they also own KEZK, which is like a soft listening program, and Y98, which is probably about 60% women. They're the all Christmas station. So interesting. And KMOX, of course. And then they have a all news and talk station, 97.1. So they were having a special, like an early holiday campaign that would start the end of November and go through basically December 25th. And, you may decide you want to do either or both of those. I think probably people have a lot more radio time, in their cars. It's always on in their, usually in their place of work, and a lot of people even listen online and stream it. So, and then of course you've got Sirius Radio and all those things too. But for our target demographic, which is generally 40 and up, generally couples who are looking to get away, or even girlfriends looking to do like a winery trip or a midweek or weekend getaway, it's pretty strong for us. So,
Do you have any numbers, listeners in comparison to NPR with the other one? Do we know?
I don't have it here tonight.
Okay.
I have all that information on their audience.
Yeah. On the, that other media, it seems to be, it has October, November, December. And if we're doing more of a Christmas fall thing, where do we want to start? It's kind of, when do we want to start it? Do we want to spread those 33 over 3 months? That's because radio advertising tends to need some repetition.
Well, so if you're referring to the NPR one?
Not the NPR, the other one.
Oh. Okay, so that only runs, it's a Christmas special.
I'm sorry, this is NPR.
Okay.
I'm saying, yeah.
The
Christmas special I like the timing on that one.
Yeah.
It's just concentrated in that. The NPR just seems to just be stretched out. If we can condense that possibly.
So, yeah, with the NPR, it's a 3-week campaign, and you can either run it 3 weeks in, October or November or December. You can't, stretch it out necessarily.
Okay, so pick a thing, and so we could do it like the last 2 weeks of November and the first week of December?
Yes.
Or they have, because that seems to be
a sweet spot.
A sweet spot for most of the sales that I know we're getting on, both on the website and also in the store. Especially because we have that Small Business Saturday is so big here in town, we can, hit it over that time period.
If we can kind of direct when it happens.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
And sometimes like on the NPR one, or no, the other one, that when we tend to, it gets real slow here that last couple weeks after the 15th of December. Mm-hmm. Do we advertise to try to perk that up, or know that it's slow and avoid that week? How do you,
Well, if you can
we're trying to outguess
coming,
everybody.
Yeah, if you can advertise coming into that period, plant the seed, and then people might have all their shopping done, and they might decide to do a little getaway.
Yeah.
Or they might decide to come here and, buy a B&B package or something like that as a Christmas gift.
Yeah.
And, a lot of that depends on what the B&Bs are putting on their websites or yours for gifts in terms of if they have a Christmas special or something.
Right, and also making sure that the Visit St. Jim has those, has those specials on there, the links to them. Yeah, all,
That would
updated.
be, we have a link to your
Right.
website. We probably
Just make
wouldn't
sure
put a
everybody-
specific businesses special on
Right.
the
Just make
city
sure everybody,
website. but-
or put out to everybody, please update your website so we can,
Yeah, let them know
Let
about the
them know ahead of the
campaign.
campaign.
Good opportunity for you to put a
yeah,
package
kind
together.
of involve the community in some of those campaigns more.
Yeah. We, every now and then, I'll go out there and look at people's Facebook presence or their website, and, you know, when they're, you can tell when they're saying happy spring or something like that. They
Yeah.
haven't been on it in a while. And maybe they are on Instagram and maybe they're not, you know. It's pretty important in this day and age to be fully engaged. And in the spring this year, I sent out instructions and a tips for tourism for exactly how to claim your space on Google if you haven't already, how to, you know, set up a Instagram or a Google Places, and hopefully everyone's already on Facebook. But that's important, to Tom's point. It's very important for them to, you know, have something to look at when people get there and not have 6-month-old information.
Yeah, and also you target these ads to where our sweet spot is with the activities we have going on. So they click, oh, let's go this way, and then you go, oh, this is going on, this is going on. Great, there's lots of things to do.
Yeah.
It's kind of really, you know, keeping all that.
Well, when, in terms of the script, are you saying?
Not necessarily on the
Oh.
script, but when they go,
Oh, for the
for the
businesses,
advertising
yeah.
tiding, so they hear it, they go to the website, and they see a whole bunch of things going on. So it's targeting that advertising around those events that are happening.
Do they, on the script, do you have to have one script? Or can you change it halfway through the dates, or
Oh, generally they'll let you do that.
do you think they would?
Yeah, because we've done some event things where, like, I don't like to do just one script that's just for an event, like the Holiday Christmas Festival, not that we won't do that. But generally, if I do an event, I'll have one that is like, you know, a St. Genevieve general kind of a thing, like the one on the NPR, and then one that's St. Genevieve plus the event, like hosting the...
That's what I was wondering, the
Yeah,
last
come to Historic
line.
St. Genevieve this weekend for
Yeah,
this.
the last line on this, I really like it. I like the way you did it. The last line on here, come visit, come for holiday shopping or plan a winter getaway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that last line up to the holiday weekend could be, join us for our
The Christmas walk?
huge
or-
holiday Christmas
Right.
walk.
Yeah, Christmas walk.
And then after that event, then go back to something like
Yeah.
this. But
Yeah.
Or
I,
hit it with Small Business Saturday and the Christmas walk for that's 2 weeks back to back this year.
yeah.
Actually, they don't start this until November 30th, so
Oh.
we can't
Ah.
quite catch that.
Okay.
So we're not gonna catch, is it gonna, would that be
Yeah,
just
we
a
could put- We
week?
could put the first part of, we could
But
get
we
that.
could do the Christmas festival for a
on
week,
there.
yeah.
Just for that week leading up to it?
Yeah.
I would like to see that. I think that the music that we provide, that committee and that committee provide, I think what they put together is fabulous.
It creates a destination
It
event.
does. It's a destination event, and I think it could, you know, if people could see that, I think we ought to promote that for the week prior to that,
agree.
and
Yeah,
then
I
go
think
to
that'd be
something
good.
generic afterwards.
Yeah.
Good
But I would
suggestion.
love to have this,
Yeah.
the first few, promote that event, and then go to,
Rotate.
And then they'll hear it, you know, and repetition, as Tom said, is really important. So they might realize, you know, okay, now the Christmas festival is past, but I can still go.
I
for a
think word about
getaway.
that festival would spread like wildfire. I really do. The people that
Yeah.
come down and see it, not just the parade, but the musical events and stuff that are put on, just seem to rave about it. So I think it would be a springboard into other things. So I would hit that hard the first week, and then we still have, what, 3 weeks left after that?
Right.
Yeah, a
That-
couple weeks on that one.
All the way through December, that 3 more weeks that we could do a general.
This one,
Yeah, that's on the,
So-
then try to time the same type of thing maybe with the NPR one, to hit one early and maybe do one section that hits the Small Business Saturday and the Christmas event, those two first, and then.
change gears.
holiday.
Because the
For the next
NPR
weeks.
would start earlier, is what you're
Start
saying.
earlier, yeah, and have,
Yeah.
and hit both of those, so if you can't make it down for Small
'Cause
Business
that could-
Saturday, come for our Christmas event.
That could be the same message, right? On
Yeah.
NPR and the other stations, that could be the same message for the,
And some people flip between stations
Yeah.
too. They might hear it on NPR, and then they might hear it on.
I think we ought to drive
KMOX.
home that event, that'd be
Yeah.
that'd be my
Yeah,
vote.
try to concentrate it in those couple of weeks right there.
Okay, and you can see that they read it a little differently. This one, that is the KMOX, they, a lot of these, on these specials, I mean, this is a much lower rate than their normal radio rate, but because it's a holiday greeting and, you can make it from the mayor or whatever you want to make it, like they might have like from, US Bank or something like that, and from all our 432 locations,
Yep.
we all wish you a Merry Christmas. It's that kind of a thing.
And I like the way it starts, I'm just wondering if we could change the last line or two
Oh,
to
sure.
throw that event in.
Yeah, to make it
Right.
specific,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that'd be a great way to do that.
Yep.
So I was
Moving towards the capital.
going to wait to see
Oh, I love
what
this
you
idea.
thought about it, but I was going to ask the mayor if he would be willing to, he's a
Sure.
orator.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Hey, this is Mary, yeah, Paul,
Right.
this is
Yeah.
Mary Paul, yeah.
people like to know who
Yeah.
who it is that's talking to
Yeah, I think
them.
that'd be great.
Yep.
See what he
That'd be
says.
good,
He
yeah.
doesn't,
If we-
Martin could, somebody.
Right.
If we could impart that into these two events, I think it would be
It's kind of
good.
personal.
Yeah,
It personalizes it, yeah, I think it'd be great. I think Paul would be real good at it.
Okay, so you like the NPR one for November/December, and then the KMOX KEZK is, they have a specific window that they will offer this. And the first week of that window will focus on Holiday Christmas Festival, and then it will go to the holiday greetings, similar to what's here, for the duration of the program.
And that's on all their stations.
Yes,
KMOX.
it
It's the
just
same
rotates
ad,
through
it
them.
just rotates.
I love that.
yeah. I think that's a good.
Yeah, because
Really.
Kimmswick does it, St. Charles does it, and Belleville all advertise for Christmas on KMOX.
Really?
Yeah, so I think it's good that we get in there too.
Great. And, I'm one of those people who, I'm not such a big KMOX person, but I love having the 24-hour Christmas music on until at some point I get tired of it and then I switch it off. But usually it takes me a while to get to that point. But I'm glad to know that others are doing this on KMOX, so, great.
Okay, so I guess that we need to vote for approval on these expenses. The SEM for 2 months.
Let's go ahead and do that as a single motion, and then the others are new things.
Okay,
One's an ongoing, and one's a no expense.
all right.
So just
I so move that we approve the SEM for the 2 months of, for December.
All right, Tom, thank you.
Second.
Second. Lawrence? Have a motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. And then for the new proposal, I guess we can do both radio proposals at once, right?
With the motion, you mean?
Yeah, with a motion.
So,
So I would entertain a motion for approval of the radio ads as discussed.
motion for the radio ad that's discussed.
Second.
And a second, okay. Any other discussion?
I do have a little bit more discussion on it.
Sure.
On this one for, is that K, yeah, on the one for
Interim.
KMOX and KZK. On that message at the very end, and I know you're probably pushed up against time on this, it's, whoever's reading this, do they have their own person read these usually? This support comes from?
Well, this KMOX one would be by the personality, namely the mayor.
It would?
Yeah.
So, okay, so I thought, maybe I have it wrong. This one I'm talking about, is this?
Oh,
is
that's
this
NPR.
That's
Yeah, so
NPR, okay.
that's their announcer.
Okay, that's their announcer, that's what I thought, because at the end of their little things, they always hear them say, support comes from,
Right.
So on that one, it is, the way I read this, it says, the very last line ends in tour ideas at visit stegen.com, right?
Yes, that's because it's their announcer. They put everything in like phonetical.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So
that's
they
that's
put
an
the
important
dot in
point,
there.
but most people don't, I think of St. Genevieve with an E in it. So I like the way that they're spelling it out,
Right?
but I think it should, the first time through should read, visit stgen.com. That is saint with an E. Visit STEGEN, you know what I mean? It
Clarifies it.
It clarifies it,
Yeah.
but if they could read it, if they could, I don't know if he has time for that, but
Well,
visit
sure.
stgen.com and then spell it out.
Got it. I can
See if we can-
send it in and we'll see,
See if
you
we can work,
know.
yeah, because, it just
They're
clarify.
going for 15 or 30-second blocks.
I know.
So let's see if we
Probably
can,
they'll be able to. do
If they have time to say visit
Yeah.
stgen.com and then go back and spell it
That's
out,
visit STEGEN.com.
but the first time say it.
Right,
through.
yeah, right, yeah.
So you know
Yeah.
what you're
Yeah.
spelling.
Mhm.
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
just a suggestion, so,
yeah, oh, if you could,
so carry on with the motion.
if you could maybe clarify that script and maybe send it over to.
Either way, yeah. Or get,
Take a look
I
at
think, as long as they say it the first time, spell it the
Right.
second.
Yeah. so
Right,
we-
I mean, I'll just send it into the station. and
they can
They'll
get-
record it and send it back to me for approval.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and they take out gaps and
Yeah.
things like that. They really get these 30-second things tight.
Yeah.
Turn it into your ringtone.
Other than that, I like it, yeah.
Okay. Any other discussion on the motion? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are approved.
Which one did you not have, Jim? You had
I did not have this one, NPR.
Oh, okay, so now you do.
I do, okay.
Maybe I grabbed yours.
I can't tell. You gotta be careful. All right. Any other business come before the board? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Tom?
Second.
Mike? Second.
And
All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Thank you all for your time this evening.
speaking of Holiday Christmas Festival, don't forget tonight's the fundraiser night for the Holiday Christmas Festival at Audubon's Community Night. So, go out and eat.
Right.
Thanks, Senator.
Thank you. So, congratulations on that.